Hello there everyone, this is Iron Mark 3 and welcome back. Oh, just as the good music starts to kick in. Well, some of the good music. A lot of the music in this game is good. Also, I turned the volume, I need to turn that down slightly. There we go, right. Welcome back to Final Upgrade, for a bit more of a chill time in space. Acting as robotic overlord to all that we survey, because the Humies don't know better. And these guys urgently need their cruise missile firework displays to make sure they have morale to survive on this barren rock. Or something, I don't know. I don't know why I still don't understand that. But as I mentioned last time, apparently it's a thing, so there we go. Thank you for the upgrade there. Right, upgrades are continuing, as you can see. Ships are moving around. There we go. So that said, there is a lack of blips moving around on the main map here. Because frankly, I think we need more. So let's actually do that. Let's go back to our custom ships. I want the bulk hauler. Pause it and go ahead and build, because I feel like our fleet, despite the additions last time, are a bit short of the mark. Because I've been looking around and I've noticed things like there's a massive oil build-up on the oil deposit world. So I'll build another. Let's be generous. Let's be generous. Let's build 6 more bulk haulers to haul freight among the stars. Is it a bit much? Maybe. Will we use them all? Eventually, yes. Also, to increase our fuel movement, I think I'll expand this a little bit too. If I press the right keys. That's one problem with so many hotkeys. It sometimes gets in the way just a tad. Now, bulk haulers have a capacity of, I actually counted 20 of these tanks. The station currently holds 10 fuel, 10, 11, 12, 13 oil, max. Let's go ahead and actually link some of this stuff together. Well, I said link. I think for a moment I was thinking that, let's think that's that, but no, that's specifically for this planet. Let's just expand our storage tanks for oil and fuel. So 22 of each. And of course, since we were doing that on this station, I will expand the storage tanks. Must admit, fluid handling stations are a bit more of a custom job than a straight stamping production station. But that's just how it goes. I'll make sure to get all these things set up as well. By the way, you always hear that beep if it's changing the settings on a tank. If you don't hear the beep, it's not changing anything. There we go. So that's one way to do this. Also, notice I'm using copy to select rather than copy to all, because that overrides the settings on all of the storages on this given construct. So I change all tanks to fuel, including all the oil tanks, if I hit that by mistake. Something to keep in mind. But yeah, that should help with that. This fleet should help here. Let's go ahead and accelerate time and let things go, because we do need to do some things. Actually, let's repurpose tech a little bit, because I've grabbed a little bit of stuff here. I have 48 free experience. I think... You know what, let's get another tech upgrade on the storage silos. Boost them to 100 apiece. Because I have some plans for that one. It delays mod still slightly, but this will improve transportation even further. So, there we go. And accelerate. There's our over-engineered Constructor Matara ship. Big Boss Constructortron. I actually have plans to upgrade that thing, but I'm going to give this current design a chance with its big, fancy, smanchy restocking circle tube. Look at that. But those two run dry, that one waits. Then it just refills from the station nearby, so that's it. It's already built 2 of them. Anyway, yeah. The reason I was doing that, though, is thinking about this is... Whoops, where's it gone? There's it gone. We actually had a comment on part 3 from Clint. Great vid. For the boss, could you use a 2x2 drop-off for the container holding the resource? So there is 3 at arm's reach at all times. No more need for the big loop saving space. Every vid makes you want to buy this game. Great work. Yes! Yes, you will do as I say. You will buy this game. Ha! Unless you don't want to, in which case it is fine. Oh, yeah. That was just sitting there dumping energy into stuff. Okay. Unless you don't want to, that's absolutely fine. I mean, not every game is for every person. But this is a solid game if you're into this kind of thing. Be aware, though, it is still under development, so you're paying for what's there. I do not espouse paying for promised future content. Only pay for an early access game if you're paying for what's already available. That's if only more people did that with early access. We'd have a lot less problems. Look at those beams go. Yeesh. Okay, good, thank you, construction ship. You have managed to get everything sorted out. And let's drop down from 30 times speed to normal and get these guys moving. Autologic. Transporter. Autologic. Transporter. Autologic. Transporter. Because we're firing these ships off into the void and we probably won't see them again for a while. The fact that they're not got immediate orders is actually quite promising because it means that we don't currently have that many backlogs of things, or we have backlogs of things that we can't deal with. So, potato, potato. The question though, could you build a 2x2 drop off to contain holding the resource? Yes. That would give us a total of 4. The thing is though, if a bot can't find a route to a resource it wants, then it stops and won't do anything until a resource block is detected within a storage point. It would help if the actual ship was nearby. Oh, it went off over here, of course. Right. Build up those storage tanks. Look at those storage tanks. So that's why I put extra size into this. Though, with the problem with Big Boss Constructomatron is that massive resupply tube and the localized storage points. That's what's overcomplicated this design so much. I actually have a plan which I think might work, which will let us build a ship with like possibly as many as 6 resources and use 5 construction cannons as well. So yeah, thinking big there. It depends on how much space is actually required for the plumbing involved, but tearing out the resource tube and these local storages would save so much weight on this design, so much space. Then again, there is another design philosophy I think I will mention, because it's a thing. Let's just go ahead and find stations. I need the station core V1 to get into place here. And that is that... No, wait, this place needs coolant, this place produces silent. I will need the station core, but I actually need the station core over here. Copy paste, there we go. Need circuits, so we won't be running this one immediately, but soon, yeah, the other philosophy that sometimes happens is to build a shipyard. The mobile construction ship can deal with station construction and repair works and things to a certain extent, depending on resources it can carry. But one philosophy which is still highly valid is to have a shipyard with all the construction materials and then just build ships in that sector. And it will deal with that. I'll just nudge you aside, please, while I pause the game. So, just a localized shipyard. Ideally in an empty sector, like maybe Earth sector, where our flagship's chilling out, might be a good idea. Or these empty sectors dotted around the place, which I have plans for, you know. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and just slap this one out kind of quick. So, this is fluid handling, just like with fuel. Then we want to get our trade hub, dock, which is where I like to put it. I want to export water. The thing is though, we only have one use for water really. If we press Y and select our water. Oh no, I lie, we've got 2. We've got water into coolant and water plus iron nickel composite into hydrogen, which is another fluid. I forgot about that. In my testing games, I don't normally hit hydrogen stage. I've always stopped my poking around before hitting that, so that's something. So never mind. I guess we do need to have a bit of a split system. Okay, let's go ahead and do the thingy then. Tanks. This is locally supplied, so actually we don't need that much of it. There we go. And because I like to just have the spread out just so the pipes are split all over the darn place, that's what I do. 2, 4. Oops. Whatever. Can't delete that for some reason. Probably because I'm not clicking on the right square. Yeah, it just glitched ever so slightly there. Normally that doesn't normally happen. Anyway, keep on going. Refineries, straight along the line. Piping, doing what I like. Well, mainly because I just try to avoid the cross pieces because it auto connects. If the pipes could be more precisely dragged, like the pneumo tubes would be, I'd build the tanks and pipelines a bit more precisely. And by precise I mean like convoluted as all hell, but you know. But since I can't do that, I try not to. Just because I like the piping to be a bit more spaced out. I know. Maybe that's a bit inconsistent of me, but yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. I think basically describes a fair bit. It's also unfortunate you can't have junctions through walls, like in FTD. Like you've got to actually drop a wall all the way down to the machine layer. Oops. And that was me accidentally getting too enthusiastic with shift click. There we go. And this will be our coolant supply. We will need coolant later, but right now the priority thing for it is because we want to be able to actually supply one of our colonies with coolant. So, you know, enhance the colony, enhance the cloud storage they give us, enhance the cloud storage, enhance our technology. And we need technology for all the toys. Okay. Right. Now, what else am I planning to do in this one? I'm planning to get some major manufacturing going. One of which is going to be shell production, finally. We're also going to try and start producing maybe alloys, but I think circuits is probably one. Something's asking for nickel according to this. Oh, enhance the colony there. Yeah, go ahead, give me that please. Quality 5, yep. Always nice to get a big upgrade. Also, once again, yeah, operating with only one turret. I need to get a 4th turret on that thing, really. The problem is the cost, because, like researching further nodes, getting another mounting point for a turret doubles every time as well, so that's 64,000 to do that. So as you can see, this is getting a bit busier as we upgrade stuff, as I said it would do. Okay, good. Coolant. So we've got a coolant supply, we've got a demand over there. Set you going priority 6 as I like to, and that will start feeding into that one. Okay, jolly good. That colony will start expanding and helping us. Look at that. Peoples. Peoples are going everywhere. Messy humans contaminating the planets, but I don't have to worry about the planet, so it's absolutely fine. Or something. What are you? Steel plate. I'm not making that yet. In fact, I've not even researched that yet. Also notice a lot of resource deposits are actually asking for iron copper composite to upgrade. So that, along with circuits and things, is probably my initial demand. Also expand production of carbon ingots. Nah, it's fine. We don't need any more than that. And if we check our power issues, all of our power is being met by our current supply just fine, so we're okay. We're okay. Right. Let's get started. We need to work out a production station. So, what I tried to do, because it's like we have a whole bunch of tech on this. Like if you look, there's 5 different types of shell, 5 different types of missile, and actually 5 different types of laser lens as well. So 5 munition types each. I tried to string them together. Same thing with stuff that's upgradable. So circuits 1 goes into circuits 2 into circuits 3. Components, mechanical parts 1, 2, then 3. Consumer electronics. I tried to keep those on the same station so it just feeds into each other rather than shipping them around. Maybe it'd be more efficient if I shipped them around, but the thing is, 1 station per sector. Might as well try and combine it where I need it, you know? So, iron shells into steel shells into electronic shells. We need iron shells for something. Iron shells I need over there. You need electrical shells. I think that was the only shell type, wasn't it? Yeah, iron shells, and then as far as electrical shells. Let's double check my tech tree real quick here. I did not unlock steel or electric. I did, however, unlock cruise missile, so let's actually get a missile assembly rolling as well. Where's my flagship? I need you to do something real quick. I need you to claim this unclaimed sector. Yes, and then I'll do this one as well. I'll build all my munition stations around here. And then I'll send you back to Earth because that's what you do. Have fun! Have fun being a monument to all of humanity's sins in the orbit of Earth. I guess that's what you do? Maybe? Anyway, let's go ahead. We want to get some station sections going, so... Yep. Da-da-da. Yeah, that's the thing. Also, I'll build a station out here. And I'll put one into... Well, I don't technically need one here right now. I'm not going to laser tech for a while, so I'll leave that on B. I'll just have that claim just in case. Okay. I'd prefer to have level 2 storage available for this, honestly, but I don't have that right now, so we're going to have to go with what we've got. That reminds me, I did actually have a plan for a new design of condensed production / fabrication, but we'll get to that. Actually, no, I can work that into this. I can work that into this. Wait, no, I can't. Can I? Part of the problem is we need to import resources into this. And also, because we're using fabricators, that's a really big machine, so it doesn't quite work as well with this one. You know what? I'm going to say fine. And this will be the spot for the whole thing. Then I'm going to build machinery out here, fabricators. And you've got to remember, these things are operating on a cycle of every second, so 1 pipeline into 2 of these. Iron shell is a basic product. But we also need to take into account production of a later production type, and production of needing extra resources, and... I know what I mean! Sort of, maybe, possibly. Do I know what I mean? I don't know. Beats me. Anyway, moving on. I'll show you what I've got in a few moments. Okay, I think I've got something useful here. So, this is set up for a 3 pneumatube production line of fabricators. I think I've also saved these as well. So, if we bring up blueprints, so we've got fabricator stage 1, which is just like 1-to-1. It does the thing. Single input to single output. If I find it, there it is. Fabricator stage 1. Right. And then we've got a extension which goes off the stage 1, shifts production slightly because it's intended to be upgraded with a level 2 storage, but it adds an extra input resource point and then feeds into fabricators and then feeds to a single output as it should, and then that's that. And so we should be able to just go ahead and slap that down again if we could override machines, which we can't. So I just need to delete that. And then we should be able to do... Yep, there we go, it's lining up properly. It won't let me do that because there's a machine plant there, but if we click... Ta-da! We have our next stage. Right. We can't actually build these stages yet, must admit. But we can start at least some of this production rolling. So, you are going to be making for me iron shells. Notice we don't have any kind of tech available, but we can actually still program these things. 3 lines there. Yep. It requires only iron ingots, so you are set to iron ingots. You are set to iron shells, which is... I lose things in these kind of blue things sometimes. Okay, iron shells. I'm going to put another storage into here. Same as I've been bleeding off. I mean, we've researched these things to have 100 storage total. Extra storage, but this has the advantage of actually building a stockpile which isn't pulled into the next production cycle as well. So that's one advantage of having multiple storage versus a single condensed storage. So that's something to bear in mind as we go. Next one is going to be working steel shells, which is nickel plus iron shells. Got to copy that. There we go. And of course, you are going to be set to nickel ingots. Only one input, but again, you could increase this by having multiple storage silos for more input, but we're not going to be running it that consistently. And we're going to upgrade it before it becomes an issue. So, you know. To the future. Yay. Steel shells. And then our next upgrade to the last one we need for our current colonies, electric steel shells, which requires silicon ingots plus steel shells. There we go. You will go ahead and get electric steel as your storage point. And you are going to get set for silicon. There we go. I'm not going to put extra storage onto the steel shell because we don't need the steel shell for anything external. I mean, it's an upgrade to the iron shells, but once we move past it to the electric shells, we won't need steel shells for arming our ships either. So that's something to bear in mind. Though, because we want to actually have a storage on here, we need this. We need these shells to feed a colony. So we're going to put an extra storage onto here as well. Now, something to bear in mind is I made this and I thought we can trim these down if we don't need as much production, but we might as well have the production. So we might as well go full bore on this with 3 active pneumo tubes of everything. Because why not? Basically. So that's all that. And we get our ship to jump in and do it. And we're almost there. We just need to set up the trade lines. So, trade line. I want to set up a trade line for electric steel shells. We can't do that just yet. We have the demand, but we don't have a storage. Also, someone needs fuel. Auto route that. Go ahead. If you're quick enough to click that, or you click it bottom right and you have the thing, you can tell it to auto route. So it automatically creates a priority 4 movement for that particular resource. I mean, what do you say? You require multi-tool. Can't do an auto route on that because we don't have any multi-tools. Oh well. Look at that. Our colony that requires coolant is just leveled up. Shocking, I know. Yeah, notice that. See, the box is there, but it's saying no iron, no iron. So that's no iron in that storage deposit there. But that's nothing bad. Anyway, how you doing? You have done everything. You have all the storages. Jolly good. Let's get those things set up. So, there it is. Electric shells. We now have a storage, so it's nothing. I'm going to say priority 6 on that because it's a colony supply line. You require silicon. We don't actually have a place producing silicon right now. You also require nickel. So nickel. That's also priority 6 because it maintains an essential supply line. And that's how I'm going to approach all this. So that's that. And then we need iron ingots. So iron ingots there. Priority 6 to keep it in good supply. And then lastly, we need one for iron shells over there. So we're going to start developing Jupiter. A bit late, because it's taken us a while to actually set this up. But that should now begin, and we have enough ships, so we should be able to keep this all in good supply. We just have to wait for them to turn up a bit. Oh, there they are. That's producing, it's trying to feed. It can't though, because we don't have the tech for those shells. But upgrading Jupiter will help with that. Notice the increase in storage, and here comes a ship just to nick some of that. Off he goes. Okay. We have supplies of something, so let's go ahead and apply what we have learned. Now, if I recall though, missile tech is not quite as forgiving. Let's see, light missiles requires steel plate and carbon ingots. Ooh. So it will require more. That's a shame. Move aside. But let's go ahead and start fabricating anyway. We do have something, actually we can just go ahead and use the expansion thing for this. So that shouldn't be a problem, now that I think about it. Fabricate to expansion. Click. Stop hitting the wrong hotkeys. There we go. Expansion stage. Click. And how far in was that? Light missiles, cruise missiles, heavy missiles, rockets. We do have that colony in these rockets, don't we? That was you guys. Yeah, you guys that need the guys that need high explosive rockets for whatever reason. So we're gonna need 4 stages of this to supply our colonies. That's okay. No worries. Just go ahead and yep. 2, 3. Pull that. We're hamstrung by the lack of steel plates, must admit. But actually, didn't we just get that tech? I think we did, didn't we? Yeah, steel plate, then machine parts. We actually just unlocked steel plate production. But I'll get this place set up for missile production, and then we'll go and have a look at that. Okay, here we go. We've got the station going in for rocket production. It's not just that it starts with a expansion stage blueprint going into that. I will also note, if you see these last 2 stages here, I actually had to replumb it for fluids. So to make a cruise missile into a heavy missile, apparently you need to add fuel to it, which begs the question, what do the light and cruise missiles actually run on if you're only adding fuel at the 3rd stage? That's a bit odd. And then to convert heavy missiles into rockets, you add hydrogen to them. So it's a little bit odd. Oh well, who am I to argue? It's game logic. But that just needs to get the resource suppliers actually plumbed into it, and then we can move on from there. Of course, we don't make hydrogen, we make fuel, we don't make circuits yet, which is the cruise missile requirement. But we don't need light rockets for anywhere else this time around, because that's RNG in play. We also don't have silicon. Let's go and actually sort our silicon supply next, I suppose, which is... Yeah, silicon's also a slightly odd one, because silicon actually splits in half partway down its production chain. Oh, apparently we didn't build a station here. Let's get that built. Oops. Yep, that's fine. Pause it. So my thought is that we can actually condense production slightly. Let's build a 3-line here, and I'll show you. So we start off with our trade hub, right? But then we go storage, like that, and bring this back. So that's the limit of this arrangement I have in mind. It limits our total actual storage capacity to 2 storage silos, but we get 4 per storage silo, so that's 2 lines coming each way. Like that, and we can actually condense this slightly and have the trade hub be sat there if we want to. If we want to be extra sneaky with it. 1 there, 1 there. 1 there, 1 there. Just to be difficult. And do the same on this side, so it comes back in like that. So you see what I mean about it being a little bit denser than the other high density one I did. And then we take that and we need once again our two dual outputs, so we actually feed off the corner like that. Ta-da! And our next machine is the stamper set. Actually, this isn't going to be a good idea for this particular place. Oh well, I'll finish the blueprint and we'll reuse it elsewhere. I'll modify it after I finish it. Done like that. We need another layer of stampers, don't we? Like that, yes. And we just continue onwards like so. So, increasing density, increasing complexity, but I think I like it for at least a design which does not require the separation brought about by the silicon production chain. Silicon. And you probably also notice this because if you remember the technologies I was researching to get into silicon before, that there was an extra entry called glass. So yeah, there is a separate production chain for this, which doesn't quite fit with this new vision I have of a thing. Also, I don't think we want to actually go ahead with silicon going further out because we're going to export it. So let's keep it here for consistency's sake, but there we go. And then that's my thought for a new dense production thing. So let's actually go ahead and save this thing. I will go and save like that. Control C, Control S, module, then Stamper V version 23, no, version 2, save that. So that's Dense Stamper, so of course it has the import point, it has the forges, it has the stampers, and then it has 2 silos for things. So this is less effective until you actually get upgrades to increase the size of those T1 storages in it. But outside that, it actually works pretty well, I think, in maintaining a stock of the block and the ingots. So not really meant for further production, but it does its own thing. Though I said, not quite what we want here, but we don't have to worry too much, because we only need to get our previous thing here, which is Dense Stamper Setup 1, is what we need. If I had the right blocks for it. So, machines, give me a trade hub. I want to be exporting stuff from the surface. Dense Stamper V1 is what we want. Which is going to be like that. Lined up, perfect. You are going to be making silicon. No, copy it all actually. Silicon ingots, which we don't have yet, but that's okay. Silicon ore. Now, why do I say this version is better than the other one for what we want to do here? Because this actually has an option here to bleed off the silicon. Because we've got silicon going into the stampers, which in return produce the silicon ingots. But we have an open gap right here actually, which we can use to bleed it off. Like so. Into a new bank of forges like that. Let's go ahead and actually grab this. See? And I'm going to say like that. And then of course, storage, pop, pop. And we have our other thing here because we need a bank of forges like that to do the thing. So I actually want you to be making glass, which you also don't have a sec for, and then straight in there, and then this is our glass storage. Now the thing is, we need a lot less glass than we need the silicon ingots. It's a much less required resource, but it is something that does crop up from time to time in terms of upgrading places. So that is worth bearing in mind. You don't need much glass production. In fact, the majority of glass production, unless it turns out to be a primary resource for a colony. Oops. Not what I meant to do. Unless it turns out to be a primary resource for a colony, you're going to barely need glass. In fact, if I bring up the recipe for glass, it goes into water purifier tech And, oh, laser lens, but that makes sense actually, laser lenses. So there is some stuff that does need glass, but it's later on stuff actually. I wasn't aware of that. Maybe the problem is the split system makes it a bit harder to work with because, well, depends on how efficient you want it to be. I could build a separate bank of furnaces for that. But then when you only need one, you're only running that line. If you need that, you're running that line. But if you need either of these, you run off that single thing in the middle. Am I making sense? No, probably not. But hey, details. Details. Go away, please. Move aside. Okay, right. Because I want to get onto you the Dent Stamper V2 setup, which I remember that now I need a couple of bits to stick it off the side. There we go. Because this is perfect for going onto here, which is going to be dealing with production of iron into steel plates, which is what we're going to do for this place, because of course we need steel plates for a bunch of stuff. So, steel plate requires iron ingot and nickel ingots. Iron ingot is what we're going to be producing here. Set all of you guys to make the iron ingots. You make just the iron. We've got localized storage, but I won't really be drawing here from here much for that. But then we need to run that plus our other intake into a bunch of fabricators. Let's make the size thing just to be sure. You are going to be a nickel ingot. And then we're going to be doing like what we did with the expanded thing, which is... Actually, you know what? Why don't I just import that? That'd be a great idea, wouldn't it? 1 second. Okay, there we go. Just realised this place actually requires nickel ingots, so let's go ahead and give that a production order to get it sorted out. But with this, we'll have a supply of steel plates. Oh, look, another upgrade. And technology progresses once again. Don't need any of those. Don't need those. Okay. But yeah, that seems to be working pretty well. Of course, I need nickel ingot root, which it's so helpfully telling us. Now, nickel ingots to here is, I think, I'm going to say, yeah, I need that for several things. Notice, by the way, that was overlapping there, making it a bit tricky, so I dragged and moved it. You are priority 6, confirmed. Of course, you suffer from some storage limitations at this end, but that's okay. More importantly, though, you are allowing the production of our first steel plates, which we will go wandering back off. How's the silicon planet doing? Silicon planet is good, except for the fact we can't actually make silicon ingots or glass yet, so that's good. Do I need silicon anywhere? Do I need silicon anywhere? Turns out I do not. Okay. A lot of planets needing multi-tools though, so that is actually a priority upgrade. Oh, you require carbon. Oh no, I can upgrade you immediately, what a shame. Right. Okay, let's get this thing sorted out. So, you need hydrogen, don't make that. You need fuel, which we do have. There we go, and notice we've got lines overlying, so I'll move those slightly. And you are a priority 6 route, because I need you for that. Okay, circuits, not making yet. That's the next thing on the list for the next episode. Carbon ingots and steel plates. Carbon ingots we already had, steel plates we have just began production of. So, carbon ingots. Set the line up for that. I was trying to select it, but I couldn't. There we go, 6. Confirm. And steel plates, which are now in production down here. Friday 6, confirm. Steel plates also needs to upgrade the Jupiter nickel production, so let's go ahead and do that as well on the lower priority line. But that is now starting to get upgraded. More importantly though, light missiles are coming in. We don't have the circuits yet, We don't have the hydrogen yet. But we are almost at the point where we can upgrade several colonies and resources again. This is going very, very smoothly so far. And I'll end with one last note though, which is I've actually figured out diplomacy is a bit better when you have hostile conditions set. So where's that hotkey? There it is. Right. So before it just said neutral, neutral, neutral. Now it actually lists our hostility conditions. So this is very handy for tracking things. So aggression level. We are 319 out of 800 machines versus green, 23 out of 40 sectors for red, and level 34 out of 125 for yellow. So we can see how close we are actually getting to aggression from these AI factions. Of course, they will still try and shoot our ships as soon as they jump into the enemy sectors and stuff like that, but that can't be helped, really. In fact, I think I can jump into their sectors without starting a war with them, which is a little odd, but I can run a ship through and just scout their space if I was really inclined to. Maybe I should do that. In the meantime, though, steel plate production is roaring along. Very nice. Maybe someday we'll even be able to get some tech upgrades for gold. Get this production ship running full tilt. But we're not quite there yet. We need to get a few more bits sorted out. We need to get circuit production. I think that's actually going to crack it. Because circuit production will let us upgrade another colony. Jupiter needs circuits. Actually no. Maybe that won't crack it. Actually, circuit production will give us both a Jupiter upgrade and it will allow us to start upgrading Row Cephi, because they require the cruise missiles which need circuits. So that maybe we can crack it. We'll get 2 more colonies starting on the upgrade path, but we'll have to wait and see them. But until next time though, this has been Iron Mark 3. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying the show, and we'll catch you all some other time. Another 45-odd minute episode. Not bad. See you all later.